President Bola Tinubu arrives at the council chamber for the first Federal Executive Council meeting of the year. Before the meeting commenced, the commissioner representing Rivers State in the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission is sworn in.
And that I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people of Nigeria. So help me God.
The council meeting then commences. About 3 hours later, ministers emerged to brief the press on the resolutions reached. The Minister of Defense focused on the explosion that occurred in Oyo State and the ongoing security concerns in the Federal Capital Territory.
The explosion in Ibadan was raised, and the government sympathized with the victims and the very good people of Oyo State. And currently, investigation is ongoing to find out the real cause of the blast and to see how best we can prevent it happening in the future. The president has given us the marching order and all the support that the security agencies needed to end this thing. We all know that there exists a law that prevents payment of ransom. So it is very sad for people to go over the internet, radio, asking for donation to pay ransom. This will only worsen the situation. We believe we have to stop, as painful as it is. We have to stop responding to payment of ransom. If we stop, over time, the kidnapping will not be profitable and they will stop.
Council also took steps to address the rising cost of drugs in the country and address some challenges in the health sector.
And he directed that the Attorney General of the Federation work with us to come up with an executive.
All right, so those are images, the aftermath of the Ibadan explosion. So we'll be going to Mr. Fatai Owoshini to just talk to us about some of the updates on what's going on. He is the SA to Oyo State Governor on Security. He's a former Commissioner of Police for Lagos and Benue State. He'll be joining us virtually from Ibadan. Good morning, Mr. Owoshini. Thank you for joining us on the program today. Okay, so commiserations to the families, yourself, everyone who's lost someone in that unfortunate incident. So at the moment, how are security agencies and the state responding to the situation now?
Right from the start, when that incident happened, we've immediately applied, all those doctrines guiding the emergency disasters operations, and since then till now, security is very strong in the area, and we're not doing it alone. We are doing it by interfacing with the residents, victims, and people in the adjoining streets. And I can say that with regards to security, things are very well there.
Okay, so at the moment now, yes, the governor speaking about this matter. Yesterday, you had a busy day as well, such that you had to move from one place to the other to ensure that things work out well. Well, we also do know that I'm sure security agencies will also be looking back to see what did we do wrong, how could we have done things better. What kind of conversations are going on now, if you can talk to us about it?
What we are doing mostly now, rescue operation is still ongoing. I've mentioned earlier this morning in another talk that as of yesterday, we had 3 casualties dead body. But this morning, just about 30 minutes ago, I got information from the security operatives, supporting the medical team, that 2 more dead bodies were recovered this morning. What are the conversations that have been going on? Lot of interfacing with the people so that they will see transparency in what government is doing. The security agencies, especially the police, the DSS, and being supported with the Nigerian Army team, EOD unit as well, are putting the bits and pieces of information together in order to ensure that a discreet investigation is done towards a prosecution, to ensure that whoever either directly or remotely connected with that incident are brought to justice. And I can tell you that from the interactions that we've been having as a team with His Excellency, the Executive Governor of your state, we are getting credible information, including documents that can be used, that have evidential value, with which to do a successful prosecution when it is time to do that. Or at the moment, support to the victims. Evaluation is going to be done, especially with regards to the structural integrity of some of the houses that are around that place, as been said by the governor. It's still an ongoing process.
And I can imagine, that this is going to take a while. I mean, when you talked about structural evaluation, first, again, our condolences. The fact that rescue is still ongoing and recovery. From what you have told us now, at least 5 people, because you've just confirmed that 2 more bodies have been discovered in addition to the 3 that were reported dead yesterday. So really sad to hear, and it does appear that we hope that there will be no more people dead, but this is still a developing scenario as the case is. So let me quickly take you up on what we have heard so far. Yesterday, I think about twice, the day before, the day before in the middle of the night, and also yesterday as well, the governor did brief saying that they suspected the storage of explosive devices by illegal miners. They believe that the preliminary investigations have revealed that this was the cause of the blast. Are you still staying by that? Is that what the situation still reveals? Is that what you're still seeing on the ground? Because I know you advised the governor on security.
Exactly. Everything the governor had said, the governor did not just make the statement just frivolously. We have things, including black and white paper documents that are indicating that people, they asked from where this blast emanated. The people that live there had been engaged, or they engage in mining business, and there were things recovered from the debris. We've also gotten, information from people around the area, some things that are just coming out now, which they've been shrouded in secrecy. So everything that the governor mentioned, that statement was made based on the evidence that has been recovered from the scene, and of course, interaction with the people in the area.
I know that it might be early in the day, because this is preliminary investigations. This is what it is revealing. But given what it is that you're currently hearing, and the fact that you've spoken to people who you said live in a compound who could have, or who were illegal miners, do you think that there's been some failure of intelligence somewhere?
Intelligence is not something that just flows. You know, when I was in service, I always said that the security people are not, seers. They are not magicians. The philosophy on which policing security is based is that the people are the police are the people. If you don't have people give you information, you would not know what is happening. Unfortunately, we are a people that don't take security consciousness seriously. People have had, how come the security people don't know? I've stumbled on information where the Department of State Security had even encountered some of the fellows that live in that area before. Or you must have, credible intelligence upon which you will work. Explosive purchase and the use are guided by the explosive ordinance law. There must be some amendments, but I know that in my early days in the police, it's part of the thing we were taught. Under the explosive ordinance law, you have conditions that you must fulfill before these things can be sold to you. And one of the conditions is that you must have magazine or storage, suitable for storing those things. But with everything that has happened within our security system in this country and Nigeria at large, we have a lot of deceitful people, liars, big men that take advantage, ambiguity in our law, indecisiveness of even the government as to what our security architecture should be, proliferation of agencies. So under that law, which the police used to manage before, when you purchase, you will apply. It's under the exclusive legislative list. You apply to the federal government, Ministry of Mines and Power also. They give you the license. You want to purchase dynamite, they will approve the sale. It goes through the office of the National Security Advisor. And when you purchase, the EOD department, before it used to be the police, now civil defense, they would also be asked to escort the product from the point of purchase to an approved magazine. If you don't have magazine, there are government magazines that you can use. The Nigerian Army has as well, that you can keep them until when you want to use them and you must be escorted to the place. But in some cases now, like some of the documents we have seen, you will find out that the address to which application was made wasn't the address that these things are taken into. Connivance, mischief by some of these people. And of course, we've said, like in this instance, that people in the area said, we used to see these things or whatever. What has happened? What exploded were not dynamite or explosives that were kept a month or 2 months ago. There must have been, consistent storing of these things there. That over time, because of the weather condition, these things don't like, areas that are hot and all those things. Like this one, it started from an electrical spark, which neighbors confirmed. We just noticed the people that are very close to the house that there was an electrical spark in that area. And the next thing was the blast. And if you see the dimension of the thing, it must have been something that have been piled together for a long period of time. And that explains why the impact of the blast is felt even almost 8-10 kilometers away from the area. We will continue to say it. We shouldn't wait. It is when this incident happened that people are coming to say this or that. Some people even say, we've reported before. And my question is this: that location is a place where you have the very big people, the elites, retired emeritus professors. One of our deputy governor lives, former deputy governor lives in that place. They have strong landlord association, landlord resident association. And as we've always educated people, when things happen like that, if they've taken it to the landlord association, the landlords also have the obligation to approach the owner of that particular house to say, this is what we are doing, and collectively we are going to fight you. But in this case, you don't see such a thing. And that is why we continue to appeal to our people that we must take security consciousness seriously. We've gotten information as to, there may be some other areas. We are working with people as to how they can, channel information, intelligence that the security people will check. And we're also looking at a situation, just like the governor of Oyo State had started for like about 2-3 years ago, to engage the federal government that some of these laws, some of these things that are under the exclusive legislative list, the state should also have obligations. Under the Exclusive Ordinance Act, there must be periodical check of those magazines to go and also check their diary as to who they've sold to, and to also trace back to the purchasers. Did you take these things to where it's supposed to go? But like everything, the decadence that is happening in this country, the regulatory agencies don't even do that again. Maybe because of lack of capacity, maybe complicity. It's like when you go to bank now, they say, know your customers. How many bank staff go to the customer places? When they give people bills, they will say, Billy, go check the address. And this is a country that we don't have address. That is the honest truth. They will give you number 10 Olonshogo Street today. When you get there tomorrow, it will be number 11 Adigbayi Street. So we don't have addresses. We must start by getting data correctly. In a country where you don't have proper data, in a country where all agencies fight for who should be in custody of data, and in a country where capacity is declining day by day, this is the kind of thing you have.
It's really a sad incident. I mean, you have said that this incident has spread at least between 8 and 10 kilometers from ground zero where the explosives actually went off. But I am wondering, have you been able to do any enumeration? Yes, you're going to be going around to check the quality of the structure and see whether they can still be repaired and fit for living. But do you know how many properties have been affected as a result of this? Do you have that figure?
Within the 250 meters radius that His Excellency mentioned yesterday, if you count those ones that probably would be structurally defective, that will need to be pulled down, maybe you'll be looking like about between 20 and 30. Then you now look outside the 250 meters radius. It is still ongoing. The investigating team from the police have been putting up their figures, and as of yesterday, the Commissioner of Police briefed about that. It is still an ongoing process. What I would say from experience is that we should not be hasty about these things. There are things that will also be subjected to further examination, forensic examination, and all those things. One thing we should learn in Nigeria is that when things happen like this, people want a quick thing, and in the process, they don't allow the investigation to take the normal course. Even the countries that would say, if it is in America or whatever, there are cases that are ongoing for 1-2 years, and that is despite the fact they have all the technology to support them. So our people should be patient. Let us concentrate on supporting the victims. The governor and the state is doing so much to make sure that they give succor to the victims. Nothing can compensate lives that have been lost, but it's an ongoing process, and I think we should be patient so that thorough investigation can be done. What will be subjected to experts will be subjected to them. Structural engineers, the professionals, including getting support from the University of Ibadan, where you have some of those people you can call experts are also being brought into the investigation so that we can get a clue. With regards to going after the people, so many ways are being used that it's not all of them that can be revealed. But it is very easy. When you see the addresses, the name of company, you can go to CAC. The state is doing that. We are going to records of people that have one way or the other remotely, connected with the company and all those things. So we need to be patient in order for us to get to the real root cause of the real root of these things. And as His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde had said, the assurance is there that this is not one of the cases that you can just put under the carpet, that justice will take its course.
And that is cheering, Mr. Osheni, because clearly you just answered the question that a number of people could have been asking as to why, the issue you raised about why people seem to be impatient, because most times those cases just go under and no one hears about them anymore. But I'd like to ask you something, perhaps as a follow-up to one of the issues that you raised, the other time when you talked about intelligence in response to Malquest's question about it. Couldn't it be as a result of some measure of loss of confidence in the systems, or the very low trust threshold between the people and the government? Because as you are aware, a good number of people have had this information that such things were happening. But then one of the things that we found out, from media reports, is that people were afraid of reprisals on them should they report these cases to the police or to any security agencies. God forbid that there should be a recurrence. Is there any kind of protection for whistleblowers?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Mr. Osheni? Hello, Mr. Osheni, can you hear me? Okay, I believe that we'll be getting that back, because one of the issues there, people said that they were aware of these issues, Chamberlain and Malkwe, but the fear of reprisal on them, fear of being attacked by these so-called foreigners or anyone who abates them, could be the reason why these things, happen in the first place. Whether or not there is any protection for whistleblowers is there to be seen, Chamberlain and Malkwe.
Content, but I think you can hear us now. I think you might have muted. That's why I couldn't hear him initially.
As I was talking, I unmuted, so I just found out I'm not hearing anything from the studio again.
Okay, well, we'll go back to him again and just give that another shot then. Ayo.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. So the question I'm asking Mr. Osheni is whether or not there is any protection for those who blow the whistle. You responded to Malquest's question by saying that in a number of cases, it is difficult for people that people don't give information, and that's the information that the police and security agencies would use. But then they're also afraid that if they give this information, there is no one to protect them, that these people against whom they blew the whistle could come back and attack them. God forbid there is another such situation as this, but is there any protection for whistleblowers in that kind of case?
You see, let me tell you professionally, we've passed that stage of people hiding on that excuse of protection. There are so many ways of giving information now that the person you are even giving the information will not. Whistleblowing can be done online by throwing things on the internet or whatever. There are so many ways, discrete ways. And when it now comes to relating with the security people, there are different layers. And that is why we also have representatives at the National Assembly, at the state level. You can, if you feel that the security agencies will compromise, the security agents will compromise. If you don't do it to the junior ranks, offices of commissioners of police are there, the SSS is there, The army is there. You have so many layers now. You can meet chairman of local government. You can meet your representative. There are so many ways of dropping information. Nigerians should go off this issue. This is practical. People may not like it. So many ways of dropping information now. Anything you throw online now, it is viral. And because most of the people that govern us now, even if the governor or the president is not reacting, somebody from security agency will react. Somebody from National Assembly will say, oh, something has gone viral. Let's go check it. So we should stop this of the issue of protection. We should face the reality that we must face our security consciousness.
Well, Mr. Yoshini, there are some of them listening and watching right now will say it's easy for you to say, because they don't probably have as much education or as much information as you do. Secondly, there are many of them who might just be afraid to face the security agencies. I mean, these are realities that people go through every day. So perhaps there is a need for some kind of education for people in that regard so that they might be able to drop such information for government officials. But then let me ask you, Mr. Yoshini, are there commentaries in the public space that you want to debunk concerning this particular issue? Well, you have confirmed some that the foreigners are behind this, CAC documents showing this and that. Some people have been able to identify that they are foreigners. There are illegal mining sites and all of those things. Are there rumors or information, public commentaries that you want to debunk, particularly concerning this matter?
Oh, okay, I will start by first education. You, the media, to have that responsibility. Don't let us be saying that Nigerians are not educated. We're educated to know how to steal money, how to be corrupt, how to do Yahoo. So even the people that did not go to the four wall of the school know they are educated. It is when we want to apply ourselves that we say that we don't know about laws and about security consciousness. That is one side. Then what information do we want to debunk? At the initial period, some people said an aircraft, something that you cannot think of. At that time, I'd flown over that place and throw a bomb. No. Some people had said, oh, Boko Haram had gone to throw a bomb there. No. They must, probably trust the government to an extent. What has happened in the line of investigation and the rescue operation that is ongoing, the bits and pieces of information with people that had come forward are the things that formed what we're telling the people. And in order to ensure transparency, to make sure that we carry people along, I can confirm to you that as of yesterday, we had interface with the people in that community, adjoining streets and whatever. How do we secure you better? We've been doing this security, but we need your input. So we are working with people. The state is not hiding anything. Immediately the incident happened, we opened up to the media to say, okay, this is ongoing. We're still working on it. So as information comes out, the state is ready to disseminate. There's nothing to hide here. If you hide anything, the social media, you don't know is watching. Telephones are there. So, and we're talking of lives that are lost. People that have been rendered homeless. It will be callous and unfair and criminal of anyone to want to lie and hide information. And I can tell you, my governor, the state governor, Governor Seyi Makinde, had been open enough with regards to this. I that also work within. What would you hide? Even when we were in service, we won't hide anything. When it comes to lives of people, and people being displaced, people being distressed, it will be unfair and criminal and a sin to hide information and lie.
Well, just one quick one, Mr. Yoshini. The information out there, I mean, you also confirmed to us now that between 20 to 30 houses within a 250-meter radius may have been affected. Is there any plan of government for them, any kind of solace for those who, according to reports, have been made homeless? What's the plan? Any such intervention?
You see, as of yesterday, at the emergency center that is put up at the premises of Housing Corporation in Ibadan, we had close to, I think, about 33 persons that had come forward. But immediately the incident happened, not more than an hour before then, the governor of the state had said, oh, hotels where any of these victims, once they say they are victims of this incident, that the hotel should take them in, and the state we pay the bill. The state is still, the governor still stands on that. We have lists of hotels where people are. People that on their own went to other hospitals other than government hospitals. The governor had also said, look, pass the bill to us. We are taking inventory of them. As of the time yesterday, when His Excellency made that pronouncement to say that, a structural assessment of the buildings close to that area would be done, he has also appealed and advised that they should work with government to allow the structural engineers, the experts, to come and do this work. And when we had interface with the people in the community, they insisted that they will want to be part of the assessment. They also want their experts to be there. And the state is open to that. And the governor has said, okay, those houses that are going to be evacuated, there is government accommodation for them. And we are working with the people with regards to that. And the state will not do lesser than that. Everything that could give succor. Although when you move, you are moved from your comfort, the comfort of your home, to an hotel. It's not the same thing, but at least something to provide succor to them, immediate succor. The state is doing that, and the state will continue to do that. And I will use this opportunity to appeal to people. There's even a Google link created by the community, the resident association, through which people can make their complaint, apart from the emergency center that has been created. And people are coming to come and say, oh, I have minor damage, I have this, I'm yet to see my person. And, the people that populate the SEMA, NEMA, Ministry of Health have been doing a lot of linkages of people that don't know, okay, maybe family member is in this hospital or whatever. The ones that have been treated and discharged, they are also being provided for by the state. And that is all we're doing at the moment.
All right, Mr. Father Oshene, we do thank you for your time this morning. SA to Oyo State Governor on Security and former Commissioner of Police for Benue and Lagos States. All right, so this is really important. Insurance. I mean, at this point in time, one wonders if we pay any attention whatsoever to that one. So thank you for coming on today. So we'll be back in just a moment, everyone. Stay on with us.